Oh, hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to change my nutrient solutions for all my plants in LECA. And actually before this video, I sat on the floor in here. I made a list. I know I could have done one electronically, but I wanted to just make a list of the plants I have in LECA, the plants I have in pond, and the plants I have in tree fern fiber. You can see that it's not as even as I initially thought. I am so surprised that in this point in my life, I only have 20%, you heard it right, 20% of my collection in LECA. Can you believe that? I thought it was a lot more just because it still takes me like 2 hours to do like my nutrient changes every 2 weeks. And so yeah, I was so surprised, but I thought I'd just do a video of me mixing my nutrient solution, what nutrients I'm using. I am gonna start off with mixing the solution. I'm gonna go to where my nutrient solution is, which is right over here. I have this 13-gallon bucket. Now, I usually do a 13-gallon bucket and then a 5-gallon bucket in total to make, God math, 18 gallons in total when I do my nutrient changes. I save a lot to dilute further to water my plants in Lashusa Pond. Because we're going into winter, I'm not gonna fertilize my plants in pond. My plants in tree fern fiber, we're just gonna do LECA. And so I'm just gonna stick with a 13-gallon bucket. Until this point, I haven't been using CalMag, but seeing my Queen Anthurium, seeing my Metallicum, and even my Pendulifolium up there, I know that Anthuriums need CalMag, and ever since I removed it in my nutrient solution, like during the summer, I've noticed a loss in like the quality of the new foliage, specifically with my queen. And so I'm taking CalMag, I'm diluting it into some water, and I do like 5 mils per gallon for this one. And so that's around like, I think 65 mils for a 13-gallon bucket. I'm just trying to stir it really well with this bamboo stake, and then I'm going, ooh, it was already swelling. Then I'm gonna pour it in. You're always supposed to start with CalMag. I mean, if you're including silica, then you should do, I forget, I don't know which one first, but CalMag should be the first one or one of the first ones that you put in. Dilute it first, then put it in the water. Wait a little bit so it like does its thing in the solution, and then you could add the other solution. So again, this is the first time I'm using this form of CalMag. So this is from the brand GrowTech. This is CalMax. The only reason why I bought it is because I think the one that I usually buy wasn't available at the site I was, getting it from. And NXC Plants, I saw that he uses this. And so I was like, okay, well, their plants are just killer. So I thought I'd buy it. Here's the thing though, the best before date was August, and I didn't realize because I've had this for a long time. I just haven't used it, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Moving to my next, like the core nutrients, the macronutrients. So we have from General Hydroponic, Floranova Grow. I've said in the past that it's very close to what I did before when it came to my nutrient solution when I had the three-part Flora series. Is there a reason why I switched to this? I just switched to this for convenience. So again, this solution is the basic like macronutrients, so nitrogen phosphate. Oh my God, I'm thinking about just work and doing like blood tests. Okay, phosphorus and I mean I'm technically right. It says available phosphate, phosphorus and potassium. So it's a 7, 4, 10. And with this one, you got to shake it a lot. I know I'm gonna get questions. They're gonna ask, why are you adding CalMag if this solution already has calcium? This solution also has magnesium, and it has chelated iron as well. I just think based on what I've seen before with the new foliage, with specifically my Anthuriums living in LECA, and seeing that they're not as dark, not as green, they're more of like a lighter green, even when they harden off. I think the addition of CalMag on top of this might help. But again, this is just experimental. What I've been doing in the summer is just this Diamond Nectar and Great White. I'm just adding the CalMag today. This is my first time, so don't come for me if solution doesn't work out in your favor. I'm doing 5 mils per gallon as per the instructions, I think for early growth, and I'm just going to, just 1 second, I think the water went into, oh, see, yeah. Dilute it into here, so we got 65 mils for a 13-gallon bucket. We're just gonna put it in. Do you see how dark it is? And sometimes there's chunks, and it tells you on the bottle to shake vigorously. Oh my gosh, it's not going. Can we, okay, there. All in here. And I'm just stirring it a little bit. I think at this point it's been like 5 to 10 minutes. I know based on other videos that I've watched that of people that have done hydroponics, not specifically with houseplants, but like the green stuff, you know, if you know what I'm talking about. They say after you add CalMag, you should actually like wait, and it varies. Like some people say like half an hour. With my previous solution, I would put the CalMag first and then I would wait 10 minutes. And I don't know if that caused issues. But I think it's been like 5 to 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna add the solution. I hope there's enough room, oh my gosh, in this, because it's like to the top, the tippity top. Okay, so I'm gonna stir it. I always like keep stirring, so like things are constantly moving, and then I'm just gonna like pour slowly like this. Just like that. To stress this again, this by no means is the best solution. This is just what I use and what, you know, I've just been experimenting with. Again, for years and years and years, I was using the 3-part Flora series with CalMag, Diamond Nectar, and Rapid Start. I have since removed Rapid Start. I have added Great White, and I've kind of simplified the 3-part into one bottle. I've been using this since the spring of this year, and I think the plants have done quite well. So, you know, I've gotten a lot of comments of people saying, what happened to LECA? Why are you transferring all your plants into LECA? I've said in the past that if I could have more plants in LECA, I would. It's just, I constantly like to be learning, and I mean, evident in the list, I actually have more plants in pond, and I've done pond for I think 2-3 years now, and so now I'm switching a lot of plants from pond into tree fern substrate. So we went from 100% of my collection in LECA, like all my plants were in LECA back in 2020. You know, when pond became popular in the beginning of 2021, I slowly converted a lot of my plants in LECA to pond because I just wanted to learn more about it, see how the plants grew. And through the years, I love pond. I'm obsessed with pond, with different varieties of plants. And now with the obsession of tree fern, mainly in the Anthurium community, I was like, okay, let's do that. So now I'm switching plants in LECA and pond into tree fern, and I'm loving it. Like, it's always looking that you're not familiar with, learning from them, observing. And I'm so happy that I've, you know, decided to do it, because now I can say, you know, what I prefer out of the 3. I've grown my Monstera Burle Marx Flame in all 3 substrates. I've grown a lot of Hoyas in those 3 substrates. Anyhow, I just didn't know what to talk about while I was mixing. We'll move on to the next one. So I'm gonna grab a very important solution, which is Diamond Nectar. This is key. Y'all need this in every single solution. I will never not use this. It is a fantastic additive. So again, 5 mils per gallon. Diamond Nectar, I don't dilute further. I just add it to the solution. It's not gonna affect anything like the other 2 in a negative way. So we'll do that, and then I stir it. Sometimes I don't stir it. Do you know what? I'm just gonna add the Great White. Great White is a mycorrhizae. It has beneficial bacteria, it has beneficial fungi, trichoderma. I've watched the company, so I don't know what the company is, Plant Success. I watched the company, one of their videos, and there is Orca, which is a liquid version if you wanted to use it in hydroponics. So I've gotten the question as well, why don't you use Orca instead of Great White? Because Great White is a powder. I watched that video where they compared the 2, and they said that they're actually quite similar. However, the thing that's missing from Orca is the trichoderma. Trichoderma is so important, in my opinion. I think there's 2 different kinds in here. So what I know about trichoderma, it's a beneficial fungus, and it helps with the availability of nutrients, so similar to Diamond Nectar, but I think they work in different ways. It helps with soil-borne diseases, helping like prevent that, if that makes any sense. I also hear it's good for like the recycling of nutrients. I guess that links to the availability of the nutrients and it helping with it, reducing plant stress. Anyways, there's a long list of benefits with trichoderma, and that's why I use this one and not Orca. I am gonna use what says on the thing again, and I'm gonna use, what is a girl, I've been telling you been crying and you needed somebody to talk to. Girl, you don't have to be hiding. You're my girl, I'm your girl, we are girls. It gives you an option for hydroponic application. So it says 1 teaspoon per 10 gallons. And since this is a 13 gallon, I'm gonna do like a heaping teaspoon of Myco, a Great White. So it says powder over here. Heaping, do you see that? And then I'm just gonna drop it in. And that's my solution. Isn't this wonderful? actually, because this is the first time I'm using like my base nutrient solution with this brand of CalMag, I think I should test the pH. Without the CalMag, it's at a good like 5.5 when it comes to the pH. Again, your pH needs to be between 5.5 to 6.5. Whereas I still use that pH liquid. I got a comment recently that was like, Kevin, how have you not gotten like an electronic one? And I'm like, I don't need it. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, y'all. So I use this fluid from General Hydroponics over here, and I just take a little bit, put a few drops. So I'm just grabbing a little bit of the liquid. You can see that it's this color. I'm gonna put a few drops. If I can open this with one hand, I can. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just gonna block it with my hand. You can see it's yellow. Yellow means, oh my God, it's not focus. It means 6. We're at a 6 right now, but I've, through testing, not a fancy test or anything, just through the years of growing plants at LECA and just testing after a week, if the root system is really big, I do find that it dips more acidic. So going into like the 5.5, 5, 4.5. And so I'm happy with that trajectory when it comes to the pH in my solution. Okay, how we feeling, everyone? How we feeling? I'm just monitoring the time. I usually don't do my nutrient changes in here. Like if there's any leftover nutrients in the reservoir, then I'm going to just dump it in a bucket. But my boyfriend's here, he's working from home. He has like a ton of meetings. So I just have to be quiet, guys. Okay, and so I'm gonna start off with the most requested plant that most recently actually people have been asking for. My Monstera Constellation. So I haven't shown her in a while. And I just, like, she's doing okay. Oh my God, sorry, the tripod's gonna hit the book right now. So she's still here. She's up against my window. There is a new leaf that kind of got pushed. She's not hardened off yet. Ugh, I move you. So, looking great. The leaves haven't got bigger. They've just kind of stayed the same kind of size. And the flower or fruit or whatever, I've kind of lost hope. It's been more than a year and I just don't know. So I was like, okay, let's just like wait for it to like drop. I don't know, because the flower and the pollination process was in August of 2023. And so it's now October. And so I don't know. So it's, ever since it pushed that out, it's pushed out, let me just count, I actually don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's pushed out 8 leaves. So that's actually pretty good. I thought the foliage was gonna suffer a lot more, but it's been okay. And I initially had my vertical grow lights, my Barrina grow lights facing this window. In the winter months, it was not getting enough light. I'm actually pretty scared going into the winter months. Now, I no longer have those lights facing it because I got complaints from people that lived in the buildings over here. I got complaints that it was blinding. So I've gotten rid of it. Let me just flip you over. I am very sad. I'm very sad because this tie, if y'all remember, it was in the 5-gallon bucket. It suffered root rot. And I talked about this briefly in another video, but ever since I started using Coppert's nematodes to treat fungus gnats, you're supposed to like spray or like water a little bit, and they don't specifically say hydroponics, they just say soil. And so, it was kind of a test run, like trying to do it with all my plants since a lot of them are not in soil. And so what happened, and this happened with also my Hoya Nova Ghost and like 5 other plants. I think if you put too much and the reservoir wasn't utilized fast enough, then it was this unbelievable smell. It was this unbelievable, like it was worse than like previous like rot smells I've smelled in here. It was bad. And I just had to cut that part off. And thankfully I already had a bucket, if I flip you over, I already had this big 13-gallon thing here because I want to channel a lot of the roots. But do you see, I had to cut it. The root system that it had, I had to cut it off completely. So I don't know if that messed up the fruit. I have no idea. And that was a few months ago. And so I ultimately was just like so sad, and I don't know, like I'm obviously not giving it enough love because she's really just shoved against the window over here. Do you see? Not giving it enough light. I was lucky that it was during the summertime that this happened, just because there was a lot of light because this is a south-facing window. But man, like I'm actually pretty scared going into winter, like what this is gonna be or what this is gonna turn into. There's no way unless I like remove this, like I don't know like how the roots are in here. And so yeah, all that to say, this actually isn't just a LECA mix. There's also pon in here, but I still give it like the nutrient solution. I know I'm gonna probably have to do less just because I feel like it's not gonna utilize as much as the summertime. So I'll probably just maybe do 2 or 3 as opposed to 3 to 4. So this is the second one. Monstera roots, they do like to be constantly moist, and so I think I'm okay even if there's some roots at the very bottom, like sitting in the reservoir. Plan, what I've been debating, I kind of want to air layer the top part of this tie and chop the top. The reason why I want to do this is because even though she's in a bucket, she's pretty much just leaning against the window. So I can't put her anywhere because she needs like a wall or window. My place has like 0 walls. I mean, that's kind of dumb to say, but like it's mostly window in my condo. And so this is the only place it can live. And obviously like she's massive. Like I had to cut like 4 leaves even though they were healthy just to manage them like taking over. I feel like this video is so chaotic. I'm so sorry. I just like didn't know what to film today, and I was like, I need to do my nutrient changes, and like everyone wanted to ask about the Thai constellation, so here it is. Also, is this gonna be like a show and tell? I guess maybe. So I'm just gonna go around the room. My golden bone, if you watched that video, everyone, my golden bone, I put back in this gigantic bucket. So Alocasia golden bone, if you watch that video, I realized that it had rot in that small, the smaller planter. So I took what I could. I actually took a few cuttings and they're currently propagating in water. This is doing so well, and it hasn't pushed out any new leaves, but there's a ton of new growth points, and I do want to show you the root system. Do you see? This wasn't present before. All of these roots. Do you see? Isn't this wonderful? What I've noticed with alocasias, if the roots sit in the reservoir, they're okay for a little bit. I do find that like months and months and months, if they're sitting in the nutrient solution, they do rot eventually. I kind of think they're kind of similar to Anthurium in that sense, where they like to be moist at all times, but they don't like sitting in water or nutrient solution long term. Because this is a newer transfer, I'm gonna leave it for a little bit, wait for new leaves, and then I'll probably cut some roots. Hoya Svetlana. I haven't shown this one in a while just because she hasn't really done much. The new leaves have these dots. I don't know if it's because now there's new roots that have grown into the reservoir. I actually haven't checked, let me see. No, actually. But maybe because you see the water level was a bit high. And I guess I'll try to keep it, yeah, I'm gonna keep it a lot lower. I always try to monitor how fast they, absorb the nutrient solution. Seeing that it's been 2 weeks and that it was almost like full, like it just tells me that this plant isn't utilizing the nutrient solution that quickly, maybe because it's still a young plant. And it also depends on the plant. Like, even though this is a Hoya as well, my Hoya Coriaceae, thirsty. It needs so much. Polyneuria is the same, but I've seen like my Glaber schlechter, it doesn't take up the nutrient solution that quickly. And so you just kind of have to observe and just go from there. She lives, I don't know if the gimbal's gonna get me, but she lives down here. Oh, it's going, okay. Under my table, and she's getting probably like 500 to 1,000 foot candles. Okay, I'm excited for this one. She's a bit Crispania, but I haven't shown this one in a while. Okay, Aglionema, Manila's Pride. Okay, do you see this? Okay, I know this one, this is the flip side. I'm giving it too much light. I need to give it less. The reason why I'm so excited is because she's clearly hung on to The variegation over here, she has popped twice. So here is the first new leaf of the pop. Then she pushed out this green leaf, which I'm so happy about, and she still has variegation. She does have a new leaf over here, which is, it looks fully cream. But doesn't this look so minty? Wow. And then she popped again. Look at this. So I feel like I want to transfer this one to a bigger planter just because the roots are in the reservoir. I actually don't know how it'll behave. Again, just gauging. It looks like that it didn't use that much of the reservoir, so I might do a little less. And yeah, maybe, do you know what? I might put it up against the window instead of under the grow light. I think I was just kind of scared because it was a plant that I wasn't familiar with. I know I didn't show, I know I didn't do a good job showing you. I don't know. Oh, it doesn't want to capture you. Yeah, maybe I'll put much less in here. And then maybe I'll just like sneak it over here. I think that's okay. This is so weird doing my nutrient solution changes here. Okay, I'm breaking all these leaves. A plant that I still don't know if I'm gonna keep. It was once a wish list plant for quite a long time, but now I'm kind of just like, meh. Philodendron Joepii. Oh my god. I almost dropped it. Okay, do you see how many leaves, first of all? Because she's this big and because she's kind of doing her thing here, the reservoir dries out so quickly. So another example of like you just making adjustments, and like, for example, I put water in this like 2 days ago and like it's almost gone. I haven't been keeping on top of the moisture in the moss pole. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna air layer the top bit, and then I'm just gonna put the top cutting in tree fern. It's just getting too heavy for this small planter, and yeah, I don't know. I think I'm ready to try in tree fern. Look at this. This is so funny. Okay, let's put some nutrients. Okay, I'm gonna try to be careful with this one because girl, Anthurium Metallicum. So oldest leaf, newest leaf, and then actually this is the newest leaf. This leaf was like going into the window and I didn't notice until later, so there's some rips already over here. So this was a top cutting from my Metallicum that was living in pond previously. I want to experiment with LECA. I guess you can't really see on camera. This leaf compared to this one, and this is kind of when I changed my nutrient solution so it didn't have CalMag. This one's darker than that one. I don't think y'all can see it. The roots have grown into the reservoir, and I'm actually curious. So it doesn't look like there's rot. I do kind of want to cut these roots. Maybe I'll do it after the new leaf has hardened off. I never really had issues with the Metallicum. I actually think it's a pretty easy Anthurium. It's just sometimes when it gets this big, it's hard to manage the foliage, and when it's up against all these other plants, for example, it's just kind of difficult maneuvering. Like my luxurians here is just, oh my god, I'm just like, okay. I think that's okay. I think the leaves are facing the window so they can get all the light. Yeah, I'm just pouring into the reservoir here. Because I'm used to these pots, I'm used to these planters, I know like how much to put in here for the reservoir to be hitting. And of course it depends, like if you have a wick, you don't necessarily need to fill it all the way up. Okay. I'm excited to show you this plant, but I need to say something else about a pest that I never thought I was gonna have. And I just discovered this a week ago. This is my Philodendron Spiritus Sancti. So you can see that she has a bunch of leaves. I hope the camera's doing a good job. But this is the newest leaf here. You can see here, and you can see over here at the top part. Do you see that? They're still beautiful leaves. But a week ago, when I was releasing my beneficial bugs, so I usually do Aureus insidiosus, and then I also do the Speisel, which is Californicus from copper. When I was releasing them, I saw whitefly. I only saw one, and after I looked under a microscope, with a few of my plants, I didn't see any like stages of whiteflies. Anyways, I killed the flying one and I found it on this one. This is the plant I found it on. And so maybe I was like, because I thought it was the nectaries that was causing that part with these two new leaves. But now I'm thinking that it was like whiteflies in their previous stages. I did look it up. I just don't know to what degree, but aureus insidiosus, even though I was releasing them prophylactically for thrips, I do see that they do attack egg, pupa, what's the word, larva, those stages of whiteflies. So I'm thinking because I've been releasing aureus insidiosus every 6 weeks, maybe it got a lot of them. And maybe because this one's kind of, it's not really touching any of the other plants. But yeah, that was a little interesting. Roots have gone into the reservoir, and I think I'm gonna observe like how they do in the reservoir, because I've never grown a Spiritus, so yeah, I'm just like happy with her. And I'm happy the new leaf looks really good. So this one's actually just relying on this light over here. So it's kind of living over there. So it's not getting too much light. Philodendrons, I have found that you don't need to give them a lot. Like for example, my Melanochrysum, I know it's not about plants living in arid mixes or whatever, but she's only relying on my south-facing window and she's not getting a lot of light. But she's, like, as you can see, she's a beast. Like the leaf is so big. So 11 hours a day, probably getting like 300 to 500 foot candles. And yeah, I'm just like super happy with this plant, how it's doing. Oh, I almost forgot. Okay. Because I'm going from this side to this side. My Syngonium Chiapense, the one that was variegated, it's lost all its variegation, but that's okay. I always wanted this Chiapense again. So you can see that all of the leaves up here are green. The last leaf that had variegation was this one. And then as you can see, there's a lot more down here in LECA, but you can see that like she's really top heavy. I have to lean her. The roots are in the reservoir. They look good. I'm gonna propagate this for sure. I'll probably propagate it to like the first two leaves, because looking at the stem up here, I don't see any variegation. So I'll probably just propagate the top part, put it into a planter, not hoping for variegation, and then like I'll keep the bottom part in LECA. Oh my God, when I got this, it was in like, I got this from North Shore Tropicals, and it was in that LECA that was like extremely light, and I wasn't used to it. I did top it off with like my LECA to make it a little heavier, but damn, it is like so light. Alrighty, let's do the Burle Marx flames, so the big one's gonna be out of the way. I'm just gonna drag it. She lives over here, again relying on the Barrina grow lights. So what I do with bigger planters, because the roots have, and you'll see, because the roots have gone into the reservoir outside the net pot, I don't want to break that root system, so I just take another bucket that's the same, so the same 5-gallon bucket. I lift, and then do you see it all, guys? Over here, and then I just plop it in the new one. I mean, if I had someone to help me, they probably could just hold it. And then I just fill it. I do fill it enough so the nutrient solution is touching the root system. So because this is newer, I actually don't know where to fill it. And okay, so I mean, this is another example that I've kind of said, like the foliage is a lot bigger than like the ones that I have in pond. The ones in pond are still doing well, but this one is doing this one is just slaying the competition. I'm just putting a few plants back, guys, because I just need to make room for just other plants. So I'm just kind of putting the UPI. I figure out how to do this without going into the Metallicum leaf. Is that okay? See, I'm just scared that it's gonna tip over. Oh my gosh, how do I do this? Okay, new plan. I know I've said this before. This is the reason why my leaves are not perfect. It's just, I always have a hard time maneuvering the plants back to where they are. I think that's good. This is good. Okay, lots of support, yay. Oh, I forgot about one plant I haven't shown y'all in a while. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot about you. Absolutely obsessed, y'all. Ooh, okay. So I know she looks a bit yellow on the edges, but this is my Rhaphidophora. Is it Megasperma? I think it is. Do you see this? Oh my God. Okay, now I've been told, I think Ryan told me, hi Ryan, that these can be so sensitive to the salts, and that's what might be causing the yellowing over here. But I do want to say the newer leaves, it's doing it less than what the older leaves were doing. And there's so many holes in this one. This is the newest leaf, everyone. Oh my God. Look at this, everyone. Okay, the funny thing, I was gonna put this in my favorites video, but I totally forgot. I actually just recently put a moss pole and thankful, or like more moss in the pole. Look at that. This one's just relying on the south facing window because I thought I was giving it too much light. I've said this before also, like every time the roots go into the reservoir, they rot, and there's a root, I'm pretty sure it's gonna rot, but I'm just gonna keep observing. Okay, Philodendron Strawberry Shake over here. Doing its thing. Roots. I did cut all the roots off. I actually don't remember. Okay, so there's new ones that are growing into the reservoir. So it was similar to the Burle Marx flame. Like she was taking over, and I was like, let's just get rid of all of it. And I didn't know how it was gonna do, and so I just kind of monitored. I was giving it more light, and I've noticed that there has been a lot of more growth. So. I haven't shown my Queen Anthurium in a while. This was the main reason why I'm deciding to introduce CalMag, because it seems to me that ever since I started not using it, my Queen has suffered. So this is an old leaf. I'm going to try to be careful because there is a new leaf. This leaf has been here for quite a long time. There's been 2 leaves that this plant has pushed out, and they just looked horrible. It was a light green, it wasn't a deep green. And I actually think one just like kind of aborted itself, unfortunately. I'm so hopeful. This is the 3rd one. I'm really hoping with the addition it'll be okay. I have since moved it too, so it's not really touching anything. And I think there are some roots in the reservoir, so we'll see. Okay, oh my gosh. Okay, the bounce back of the century. Alocasia of right egg? I actually don't remember, but I swear there was like rot. And I think it was in a different planter. I'm not sure, but okay, no roots in the reservoir. There is a new leaf. Look at that. I know I'm late to the fried egg game, but I really want a big one. I really, really want a big one. Okay, oh my gosh, and I'm gonna show you 2 plants that I've never, maybe Patreon? Anyways, I've never shown these plants before. At least I don't know if I have. I have an Anthurium Peltigerum. Is that how you say it? The round one, the round top. We had some drama. We're still having drama. Okay, so I got this a year ago from Margot. If you're still watching, Margot, oh my God, you moved to Montreal. Okay, hope you're enjoying, for the Frenchness there. I ignored her. She dropped all the leaves, and it was because of neglect. It's not because of the plant. Anyways, she pushed out this leaf, which I'm blasting with a grow light currently. Then she pushed out this one. I was like, oh my God, like this one looks okay. But do you see the crisp over there? It's just such a, oh my God, turtle shell realness right over here. And then this one, it's bigger, it got stuck, but it's looking good. So it got stuck, it ripped. But do you see this? Living in LECA, I think I'm gonna transfer it to tree fern. I just wanted it to bounce back a little bit. I find that when these roots sit in the reservoir, they just die. They just die. And so I think tree fern would be a better substrate. But yeah, oh my God, I can't believe I haven't shown this one. Putting some in the reservoir. I guess I can't, maybe in the next planter video, I'm gonna put this one into tree fern. How exciting. New journey. And, oh my God, I forgot what this is. There's definitely blue Papi in here. This is Anthurium. Blue Papi. You could kind of see it. What? Okay. This one I had trouble with too. It was the same kind of story. I got it from Margot. Margot, I'm sorry I'm killing all your plants. This is the old leaf. She's going. Then she pushed out this beautiful leaf. And now, there's another one. I actually don't know where the origins is for this plant. Yeah, I just feel like even though, and see, this is before I got into tree fern. My Queen, my Metallicum, my Pendulifolium, this one, my Peltigerum. Is that how you say it? I don't even know. I was trying to give LECA another chance. I mean, this one looks good. This one looks really, really, really good. Oh, there are roots in the reservoir. Okay, so maybe I'll keep it. I mean, we'll see what this new leaf will look like eventually. Do you see this? This is like the first leaf that looks like dark enough. This one wasn't dark. It was just like a lighter green. I don't know if it's because it was just like adapting. But yeah. Oh, Gorgina. Okay. I just feel it's so funny that, can you see me? I guess. That, oh my God, don't break it. I'm just showing all of the plants that I have in LECA because I have to do all these chores. She lives here. The leaf that was like really yellow, she's getting blasted by the grow light. And then she's getting a little bit of my west facing window over there. Girl, okay, I'm just dragging my melanochrysum away. Oh my God, there's so much happening. Oh, guys, I feel like this video is so boring. I'm so sorry. I just had to do this. Okay, can you see me? I don't know if you can see me, but I'm just removing my Hoya Clemensiorum. Oh my God. In pawn, but she lives on top of my Maranta silver band. So I'm just gonna remove her. My Maranta silver band lives up here. And I'm actually curious to see, with a change in season, how is the reservoir doing? She feels extremely light. Showed this plant recently. But yeah, she is doing so well. People were telling me about their plants drying out and having these crispy edges here. Do you see? I think partially it's because of all the flowers. I cut all the flowers off. Do you see? Oh my God, there's so many beneficials on me right now. Oris insidiosus, they're so active when they're healthy. Can you go back on the plant? Okay, there. And they're cute, but like, I just want the foliage to just do its thing. Oh, this one's pretty down here. Yeah, she's dry. Oh, you're so thirsty. Okay, look at the roots. Do you see that? And there's thicker, bigger ones actually that, interesting. So I'm gonna put more because, girl, I'm trying to think. I guess I have to like assess to see how fast it uses the reservoir in the fall months because there's gonna be less sun. You can see that at the top there's no grow light. It's just a south-facing window that she's getting. And I'm just gonna have to adjust. At this time also, I do take a lot of the old leaves off. Today, I don't have any time. My boyfriend and I are going out for lunch today, and he said 10 minutes, and I'm not even close to being done. Okay, before I actually do that, I am bringing down the Pendulifolium. Oh my God, why is there an inflow? Look at this, everyone. Do you see this? This is an inflow. I'm gonna break it. How dare you? I was trying to... You need to focus on foliage. Okay, I said in my Anthurium video, there's rot, and I don't know if it continued, so we're gonna look together, everyone. I don't know what y'all can see. Oh, there are new roots. Okay, there is a lot of rot still. Okay, how do I do this? I kind of just wanna pull, but do you see, if you have zoom in, do you see this here? This is all new. So maybe I should just cut the other roots. I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit, cutting the roots that are dead. This is kind of the same thing I did with my strawberry shake. And knowing that there's so many new roots higher up in the plant, this is fine. Okay, I think I got the majority off. Okay, let's put it back in the bucket. Gosh, don't fall. Oh. Okay, it's been a couple hours. I went out for lunch with my boyfriend, had some tacos, carnitas, and I'm realizing that I need to make more nutrient solutions, so why don't we do that now? I just grabbed a 3-gallon bucket here. I don't know if y'all can see, right over here. So I'm gonna mix it the same way. I'm gonna do the CalMag. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit. I was just eyeballing it. Oh my God, I was like, I feel like I'm being watched. I forgot that I put the follow mode. Oh my gosh. I know I said dilute it, but I'm just gonna risk it. Then we're just gonna grab the diamond nectar. And then I'm just gonna take the powder and I'm just gonna go like, I don't know if y'all can see, I'm just gonna go just a little bit. Yeah, I don't really, I don't take it too seriously when I'm trying to mix my solution. Like, obviously don't just triple or double what the bottle tells you, because then you'll notice a difference and the pH will suffer. But just eyeballing, that measuring cup, it's a 4th cup. 4th cup is usually 60 mils. If I'm doing 15, I'm doing a 4th of that. So Hoya Undulata over here. She's doing okay. The tip broke, but I mean, the leaves over here look pretty good. They don't look too bad. I know they're not as big as the ones down here, but it took a while for it to push out a tendril. Roots in the reservoir, looking real good. I don't know if this is the same with you guys, but I still, to this day, I don't enjoy doing this, like the nutrient changes. And I guess that's another reason I was like relieved to switch all my plants away from LECA. Like I don't enjoy this process at all. I know there's a lot of people that feel differently, like they live and breathe changing the nutrient solution, and that is not me all. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I don't do it in here. Like, it's my bedroom. Everything's wet. I have to, like, mop everything. Okay, Hoya. Oh, it's dark. Hoya Wilbur Graves Silver. Do you see how beautiful? And I mean, I was debating propagating it. I said that it started taking off because it was kind of slow in the beginning. I don't know if it was just adapting to LECA. This, okay. These planters I hate, but it'll do. Some roots in the reservoir, not too many. Okay, little secret, guys. I saved my Monstera obliqua, the one that was living in LECA, the one that I said I was gonna get rid of. I said in a video that I got rid of it, and that was the day I was actually gonna, I don't know, throw it away or something. But then last minute I was like, let's give it a chance, and it did push out a lot of growth. The thing is though, I'm not paying attention to it, so all these leaves are slamming. Do you see this? It's so hard to show. So all these leaves kind of, they crisped up already, and I didn't continue the moss pole, so I'm just kind of looping it around. It's kind of working, because look at this new growth from a node that was so low in the plant. Anyways, the roots are in the reservoir. Do you see that? Fantastic. I'm planning to propagate it. It's stressing me out because like I talked about how I don't have room, and like I did want to propagate this one down. The second one in a pond that looked better, it's kind of messy as well because I haven't been paying attention to it either. I know, yell at me guys. But yeah, we're gonna save that for another day. Let's move on to this shelf over here. So under this table, I have 2 grow lights, and it's against the south-facing window. It's really hard to show. I'm just gonna bring the plants out. I do really like this spot just because unlike the wire shelves that I have all around here, it's wider and it's taller. Like even though this is kind of a fixed height situation, I could put 2 grow lights, and like my taller Hoyas that are pretty full, I kind of put them over here because they can take a lot of light. That's what I have against the south-facing window as well as the grow light. Hoya Gregos, y'all have seen her recently. She's doing fantastic. And oh yeah, I do have the propagation still under a grow light, but look, it's the wreath. I kind of want to decorate this one for like Christmas, we'll see. With gold ornaments, because it'll be like silver and gold, silver and gold. Anyone? Miss Clemensiorum. I filmed a video of me propagating this, but then I wasn't happy with the footage. I was like, this is pretty boring. Much like this video. And so she's a little bare, but I have another planter that's full of propagation, so. Yeah, I know I've been like so good at posting content recently, but I'm feeling really tired. I'm feeling tired, everyone. I go through these waves of like being okay filming all the time, and I think just now I'm like feeling it. I mean, it's been a month. I had to miss Wax Plant Wednesday last week. I didn't have like the capacity at all to film anything. And now these tendrils are just going off. Wow, these are pretty. Oh, look at this Snow Queen. It really is. It's just a gem. Again, I wish I paid attention to this one more, but yeah, I'm still debating. I think I said before that, like, I mean, I have 2 of these Snow Queens. It just took forever for the amount, like a good amount of splash to come out, and so I'm just so hesitant either propagating down because I don't want to lose this. This is the second one. This one, do you see these leaves? Oh, the one in there is so nice. It's a new leaf over here. Wow. Y'all, I have a treat. I'm just noticing if I don't break them. Whoa, okay, Hoya Sulawesi. GPS 8867. Wow, look at these blooms. Please focus. I can't even see anything. Oops. Yeah, these are so pretty. So this is actually 2 peduncles. They kind of just split. Yeah, just a beast over here. Look at these giant, do you see these 2 new leaves? So shiny, so dark. It's just super impressive. Roots on the reservoir, and I'm keeping it that way. Okay guys, I guess that's it. Thank you for watching. I will join you in the next one.